Zelensky escalates the drone war as Ukraine risks provoking a dangerous Russian response? As Putin strengthens drone defenses, Zelensky's forces strike deep into Zaporizhzhia Oblast, Europe's biggest nuclear plant under threat as drone strikes put safety at greater risk. Enerhodar comes under drone fire as nuclear plant workers are caught in the latest attack. 3 people were injured on August 11th after a reported Ukrainian drone attack struck the industrial area of Enerhodar. 2 of those injured were employees of the electrical grid workshop at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, according to reports. The workers were reportedly traveling to restore electricity to industrial facilities that had been damaged in earlier attacks. Despite repeated security risks, plant officials said the electrical grid team continued working to repair critical infrastructure. The latest attack comes as the Zaporizhzhia nuclear facility remains at the center of the wider Russia-Ukraine war. The incident is also raising fresh concerns over the safety of workers and critical infrastructure surrounding Europe's largest nuclear power plant. The developments come as Ukraine also struck Russia's biggest Black Sea port, Novorossiysk, on August 11th. Russia has adapted its KA-52 helicopter for a new counter-drone role using a modified Vikhr-1 missile. The upgraded Vikhr had successfully engaged aerial targets, according to Kalashnikov CEO Alan Lushnikov. The modified missile was equipped with a proximity sensor designed to detonate the warhead near drones without requiring a direct impact. The development came as Ukraine's widespread use of drones forced Russia to expand and adapt its counter-UAV defenses. How the modified Vikhr works. Original role. The Vikhr was originally designed as an anti-tank missile fired from the KA-52 helicopter. Modification. A new proximity sensor allows the warhead to detonate when the missile reaches an aerial target. Guidance. The missile uses a laser beam riding guidance system to stay on its designated target during flight. Speed. The Vikhr travels at about 610 meters per second, or roughly Mach 1.8, giving it a fast engagement window. Range. The missile can reportedly engage targets from about 700 meters to between 8 and 10 kilometers. Warhead. Its warhead combines a tandem-shaped charge with high explosive and fragmentation effects for greater target damage. The modification could turn the KA-52 from an anti-armor platform into a mobile drone interceptor capable of engaging aerial threats. The Vikhr can engage targets from greater distances than the KA-52's 30mm cannon, giving crews another option against drones. Russia can use its existing helicopter fleet and missile production lines rather than developing an entirely new counter-drone system. KA-52 as a drone interceptor. KA-52 sensor detects drone, giving the crew the initial target location needed to begin the engagement. Laser designator tracks target, keeping the drone continuously marked while the helicopter prepares the missile launch. Vikhr-1 follows laser beam, allowing the missile to remain guided toward the designated aerial target throughout its flight. Proximity sensor triggers warhead, allowing the missile to detonate near the drone without requiring a direct hit. Fragmentation effect destroys drone, spreading damaging fragments around the target after the proximity detonation. For Russia to execute such a modification, the biggest challenge could be the cost of using sophisticated missiles against relatively cheap drones, experts warned. Using a precision missile against cheap drones can create a severe exchange imbalance, with Russia potentially spending far more per interception. The laser-guided Vikhr also needs constant tracking throughout the engagement, leaving the KA-52 exposed while maintaining a firing solution. The system is therefore more suited to larger or more valuable strike drones than disposable FPV aircraft that can be fielded in large numbers. The adaptation shows how Russia is repurposing existing weapons as the growing use of drones continues to reshape the battlefield. Russian attacks killed 5 people and injured 21 others in Zaporizhzhia and Kyiv overnight on August 11th, according to Ukrainian officials. Zaporizhzhia suffered the heaviest casualties, with 5 people killed and 20 others injured, according to the Kyiv Independent. 1 person was also injured in Kyiv as Russia launched simultaneous attacks on both cities during the overnight barrage. Ukrainian officials said ballistic missiles and guided bombs were used against targets across Zaporizhzhia. The strikes damaged homes and other buildings, while fires and power outages were also reported across the affected areas. The attacks came as Ukraine faced a growing threat from large Russian missile and drone salvos, with Moscow increasing the scale and frequency of its combined strikes. Unmanned Systems Forces commander told the Associated Press that Russia could launch up to 77 missiles simultaneously in a single barrage. Robert Brovdy said Moscow was seeking to increase the scale of its simultaneous missile barrage to as many as 200 weapons. He later clarified that the figure included both ballistic and cruise missiles of various types used in Russian attacks. The warning was significant as Ukraine continues to face a critical shortage of air defense interceptors needed to counter large salvos. Brovdy also warned that Russia had sharply increased its use of jet-powered Shard-type drones in recent weeks. He said the number of jet-powered drones had risen 2.5 times in recent weeks, adding to the pressure on Ukraine's defenses. Russia's new jet-powered Shards are forcing Ukraine into a dangerous new drone race, as air defense systems built for slower threats face a much shorter response window. Russia is gradually shifting away from older Shard 136 drones toward jet-powered models, according to reporting from Mesha. The new UAVs use turbojet engines and can fly 2 to 2.5 times faster, allowing them to cover the final distance to targets before many mobile defenses can reposition. This faster speed lets the drones cross air defense zones before many systems can react, especially cheaper interceptor drones and mobile fire teams designed for slower Shards. Jet-powered Shards have also been used against shipping and infrastructure targets, creating a threat not only to Ukrainian cities but also to Black Sea ports and maritime operations. Deputy Commander of Ukraine's Dark Node Anti-Shard Battalion said, and I quote, "The share of jet-powered attack drones relative to the total number of launches is growing. Based on our observations, they may account for between 25% and 50% of all daytime launches." Unquote.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.